Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Misty. This is my channel, Misty at Skeeter Jones, and this is this week's jewelry sale. It is March 24th. This is part 2 of the GiGi's Gems lot, and we always know it's going to be a great show with gorgeous pieces, unusual pieces, and really great pieces when I get something from GiGi's Gems. So we're going to jump right in, so that I can run my best chance now at staying within my 90-minute mark. So I'm going to go, I always say I'm going to go so fast with these, but then I'm always over 90 minutes and have tons of video to delete before it will export. But that's another story for another time, or you can go back to previous videos and I talk about it there. But if you're interested in anything from this video, just contact me, skeeterjonesthings at Gmail. We will work it out there. Just put the item number and the price and the date in the subject line of your video to request an item. And you don't even have to include a body to your email. You can, and if you do include one, I will read it. But you don't have to include a body in order to just request an item. Some people will send me, 10 or 15 emails that all it has is a subject line with an item number, a price, and the date, and that's all it takes. So let's just jump right in with this first item. We have a 925 wires right off the bat. I'm going to go ahead and hear a beep because I'm going to turn on the gem eye, because we typically do need the gem eye when I'm doing a GiGi's Gems. So these are beautiful little crystals here on the bottom, blush pink, with these sort of AB golden champagne colored tube beads that are probably acrylic. Yeah, those are acrylic. And then these pretty little AB kind of bluish rondelles. Those are so pretty. They're so delicate and dainty. Now I'm doing a 925 test in case you're new here, and not because I don't trust the note that she writes there, but I'm doing a test just so that you can see and have confidence in what you're buying, just like I have confidence when I buy from Jeanette. So there we go, and there is our positive 925 test. And these are, Earline's about to come out because it's earrings. Let's see, these are about 2 inches in length. And here's Earline. And that's how that looks. That's just really delicate. Very pretty. So with these pretty blush pink crystals and champagne tube beads, little rondelles on 925 wires. That's going to start us off at number 1. And we will just do those for, we'll just do them for $6. That's sterling and crystal. Next piece. This, I see a tag in here. There's something originally retailed for $37.50. This is a new with tag Thurs-Fri. Okay, I'm going to, just so you'll know what you're getting, and because I'm very curious, I'm going to step off camera right now and do a quick Google Lens and see if this is a vintage piece. I think it is. So according to what I found, and eBay is what I went by, this is vintage. And so someone must have kept it put up in a jewelry box or something, because, it's never been worn, still has the tag. Very clean. It looks just like it could have come off a store shelf today. So it is vintage, but very, very new and new looking. And vintage Thurs-Fri is always kind of all over the place. And you know that if you've ever researched any Thurs-Fri. But it can be very, very pricey, and it can be very reasonable, just depending, I guess, on how scarce the item is and what it's made of and all that, and how old it is. This one and other lucite necklaces, vintage lucite necklaces from Thurs-Fri, have sold recently on eBay anywhere from around I don't know, $20 up to, I think I saw one for $75 or something like that. But we'll do this one as on a steal. This will be number 2 for us. I'm going to offer it here for just $10. I'm going to list this for $20 if it does not sell. 20 or 25 if it doesn't sell here. Oh, I'm about to bag it up. I'm so eager to stay within my 90-minute mark, I almost forgot to give you the measurements on this. It's 17 inches on the drop. There's not an extender. And then I didn't even give you a close-up look at everything. So you have these ivory, creamy colored beads here. And then these are textured. These have a very beautiful translucent look to them. And these gold tone spacers in between. These sort of cushion beads here. That you see is just dust, so that'll all be cleaned off. But gorgeous, very gorgeous. I like this sort of sky blue, and just the translucence of it just gives it depth. It just looks really, really nice. So blue and kind of a cream. And there we go, again, number 2 for $10. Either half or maybe even less than half of what I'm going to list it for on eBay if it doesn't sell here. Okay, this is a pretty one. What does that say? LC. I'm never sure if that means Lauren Conrad or Liz Claiborne. And I can't keep track of whose LC is whose. There it is right there. Yeah, and it's just copyright LC. I love the clasp. Look at that detail right there. So you've got matte gold tone on this hardware. And these little acrylic, it feels like, stones. Faux pearls. Again with the, and this is more of a transparent sort of lucite. Very similar to the pools of light type beads. These are not pools of light beads. These are acrylic. Pools of light are actually rock crystal. And they're not drilled down the middle either, I don't think. I think they're always kind of drilled off to the side. And we'll talk about those some other time. Actually, I saw Hannah at Hannah's Heirlooms. She had a necklace very recently that looked very much like a pools of light, but all the beads were drilled in the middle, and that's always the giveaway that it's not pools of light. But that's a very pricey, desirable form of rock crystal to get. This beauty is a 14-inch drop. It has all of these gorgeous colors. I guess here this is like a faux jade maybe, or a faux aventurine. That'd be like a faux aventurine right there. Very pretty. I love the colors on that. This will be a good year-round necklace, really. Nice spring colors, nice transition into fall colors. So our number 3, we are just going to do that for $4. It's beautiful. It doesn't have any wear. All the paint looks really good on the faux pearls. There's no tone loss on the hardware. That's a nice one. Okay. This is Victoria Emerson. And this may be glass or it may be stones. So let's go ahead and, I didn't calibrate. I turned on the gem eye a minute ago, but I didn't ever calibrate it. So I'm doing that off camera now while I'm talking to you because it takes a minute. Okay, the Gemini has to be calibrated every time you use it. These are probably all the same, but since they're different colors, I'll check 2 or 3 of the colors. This is more of the peachy one. Okay, no, it's not glass. This is probably quartz. Comes up to quartz, citrine, amethyst. So let's check this sort of translucent white one. I'm thinking they're probably all going to be quartz. And we'll try this yellowy colored one. Yeah, so we have quartz and silver tone, little, these sort of Asian coin. I was going to call them just discs, but they have the little embossing on there that makes them look like the little Asian coins. And then this braid right here, which might be faux leather. I can't really tell. It's kind of hard to see. I think that is a faux leather. And then these beautiful little baguette crystals. They're so sparkly. And that's the back of them. That's some faux leather that they're sort of threaded to right there. And those are the strands you have. The quartz, the crystals, the little coins, and the braid. This looks new. I see really no scratching, no tone loss. This really does look new. And it's got this type of carabiner style closure right here. This is how it looks on. I love that look. So this is a spring themed box, and this does remind me of the sand on the beach. So I'm going to give you the smallest measurement and the largest measurement. Size 7 is the smallest, and the largest is an 8. So Victoria Emerson is one of those that's sort of undervalued. She does jewelry well. This is going to be number 4. So it's really great for collectors because you can build your collection without breaking the bank. And there's your branding, your Victoria Emerson branding right there. And we're going to do this one for $8. So time for our next handful. Okay, this is nice and sparkly. Let's see what this is. It has that mystic topaz look to it. So it's coated glass. Love those colors and love that sparkle. It's coated glass or maybe coated crystal now that I'm looking closer at it. Let's see. Oh, and it's a lariat necklace. Okay. So these are the ends. Each end looks a little different. And these tiny little bicones of crystal or glass with that rainbow coating. And then these tiny little spacers in between. Very pretty. So you just decide if you want one side to hang lower than the other, maybe. Then loop it around like that. And that's how you wear your lariat necklace, or one way you can wear it. I suppose you can also just do the one everybody knows, I think, the right over left, left over right. that way. Okay, and even let that kind of go sideways a little bit and make a little infinity loop. Lots of different ways to wear a lariat style necklace. This is really, really pretty. I love the colors in it. They're sort of darker colors, but they have lots of sparkle and lots of shine. From end to end, let's see. I had to scoot my entire light box back to make room on this table. This is from one end to the other. It's about 40 inches long. So that's our number 5. And it's going to be $6. That's a ton of sparkle, and it's very, very pretty and very versatile. Okay, number 6. This one was trying to escape. This is little tiny tassels. Oh, that's hanging off the back. Okay, this is one of those with a detail in the back. I think that's just really cool. You've heard me say before, when there's details that are really just for the wearer. Oh, wait a minute, that's not in the back. I thought this was an adjuster. Is it? Well, it is. Okay, so you can adjust the length in the front, but this is the front of the necklace, because right here is a lobster clasp. So this gives actually the effect of a lariat, because it's the 2 ends, but they go through this little tube right here that allows you to adjust the length that it's going to hang down, and therefore the length of how far the drop on the necklace is. So that's really neat. Let's see, I don't see a maker's mark on it. I'm looking. No, I don't see any maker's marks. Here's the colors. Sort of a corally. These beads are wood. So you have this coral color. You have silver tone. These little turquoise looking ones are either acrylic or glass. You have some other little glass ones here, and then these teal ones. This is maybe some howlite right there. It's very delicate. Here's some little silver tone tube beads and cube beads. And let me give you a length. So if you have the necklace adjusted where it is now, the little tassels hang down about 3 inches. And the necklace has a drop of 12 inches. And of course, that is all adjustable by pulling on those tassels. And then you have an extender that's 3 inches. I love how delicate and sweet that is. And it's adjustable. That's going to be number 6. And we'll just do that one for $3. Oh, not number 63. $3. I'm not watching the time right now, but I feel like I'm going faster. Hopefully I won't have a massive editing session later. Jenny Packham necklace. So I'm going to, oh my goodness, look at that. I'm going to have to go off camera because I'm not familiar with Jenny Packham. So I'm going to have to look that up. Okay, Jenny Packham is a new designer to me. And her dresses actually go for quite a high ticket. Her jewelry, not as much, but similar necklaces to this. I didn't see this exact one listed on eBay or sold, but ones that are similar to this that are sold on eBay are around anywhere from about $30 to $50. So she has some for as low as $15 or so, but those are more like a chain with a single little stone pendant. And I want to know if these are gemstones. I kind of think they probably would be. I think this is lapis. It's coming up to a garnet tourmaline iolite. This green one is gorgeous. Yeah, that's just glass. I think this blue one is either labradorite or glass. Labradorite does not move the needle on a gem tester. And that's what I think this is. And these blue ones are lapis. And well, I didn't test those little stones, but I'm sure they're just crystals or rhinestones. I doubt those are going to be diamonds. Okay, no. They are just glass crystals, or glass rhinestones, I mean. Now, I did just see right here. There is one missing. Let me see if it came off in the bag. No, I don't see it in the bag. I think I might have one that size. Let me go check. Okay, I found one that I think will do the job. So this is a little bit of adhesive. And I've got it on this toothpick so I can get it exactly in the spot where I want it to go. And then here's my stone, which is way off camera, right here. And how I pick it up to place it on there is this is like poster tacky stuff, like putty that you can hang posters with on your wall. I just put a little ball of it on the end of a toothpick because they have tools that do the same thing. But I figured I already have some of that putty and I'll just make my own. So there it is. And then that will help me place it in the exact spot. And push it down. Turn a little bit sideways. Okay, well, it's in there, but it's just not as sparkly as the other ones. So before that sets, I'm going to pop that one right back out. The one I just put in there. Well, it wants to stay seated. There we go. So let me find another one that might be a little more sparkly to match the other one. So I did find another one. I'm going to add a little drop more of adhesive. Actually, I've got to get the old adhesive out first. Okay, so I've got the old adhesive out, the new adhesive in. Let's try this second stone. Let's see if it... Okay, that one has a sparkle level that more matches the surrounding stones. Okay, so nice. I'll have to let that glue cure and set. Sorry about my nails. There we go. So that has been repaired. It's not exactly the same as the others. But that's very difficult to do when you are replacing. So we have it done. I guess, and there goes my going fast, just out the window, stopping to do a repair. But I can't resist, you know. So here's the construction. There are these little rings underneath that are attached to, you know, this bar right here. And then these chains are attached to those little rings. And then here's the back of the bar. This is all in silver tone. And here are these gorgeous settings. And let me give you the measurements on this. This one's kind of long. It's got a 15.5-inch drop and this interesting extender with this little bar right there. The extender is 2.5 inches. This pendant, this gorgeous, amazing pendant, is another 2 inches. And let's enjoy the whole thing again. So you have lapis and then these glass stones or acrylic. I don't think those are natural, but they do a good job at faking some labradorite. But this is actual lapis. One right here, here, and here, and then here. Then you have little pave set rhinestones, these halos. Just really pretty. And a nicely replaced stone right there where it had fallen out. So this would probably, I don't know, the closest one to this I saw sold for $30, so that's probably where I would list this one. So we're going to offer this one up as number 7 for, we're going to do that one for $12. And that's going to list, if it doesn't sell here, anywhere between maybe $25 to $30. So now I have to go super fast on everything else to make up for the time I lost. But I can't just say I'll repair that later. I have to. It's just in my blood. I have to do it. So this is a gorgeous shell bracelet. This is a Kenneth Cole. Okay, so you've got this gold tone toggle closure and these teardrop shaped shell pieces with gold tone beads in between. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. The size is about a 7. I'll show you how it would look on. Nice. Perfect anytime, but especially since this is a springtime lot. That makes me think of the beach, of course. Kenneth Cole, and if I had looked, I would have seen her note right there. We're going to do this Kenneth Cole bracelet right here for $5, and it's going to be number 8. Things are coming right along, getting all my videos uploaded through the end of April and having that done by the end of February. It's February 24th as I'm recording this, so hopefully by the end of this month I'll have everything ready with its post-dated drop date. I'll get that all done by the end of this month, hopefully. Let's see, vintage, green glass, and gold tone. This looks like, I was going to say it looks like it's maybe a faux jade, this green glass, but I can't tell what stone that's really trying to emulate. It doesn't exactly look like it's trying to be jade. But you have these little textured spacers in between. This looks very 1950s or 60s to me. Let's see, it's got a barrel closure. Very nice barrel closure, actually. It's it doesn't look very worn at all. It looks very bright and shiny. It might be a recent replacement because this necklace definitely is vintage. Okay, it's 15 inches drop length, and there's not an extender. And there it is. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, number 9. And this one is going to be $5. I wish Hannah at Hannah's Heirlooms would do a class. I would pay to go to a class if you're the professor, Hannah, and learn, so I can learn all about glass beads and how to identify them. 925 closure and wires. Oh, this is a set. Okay. Little glass set. So I'll have some of that adhesive stuck to my finger. That's really pretty. So you have faux pearls, acrylic faux pearls, and these glass beads. Got a 925 toggle, which we'll test in just a minute, just so you can be confident in what you're getting. And then 925 ear wires. So let's do a quick test on that, and then I will give you all the information on the size of the bracelet and the measurements on the earrings. So there's the ear wires. Here is the toggle bar and the toggle ring. And those are all showing up positive. The earrings are, and Earlene's going to come over to model them for you. They're about an inch, just shy of an inch and a half. The measurement on the bracelet is a 7. Here's Earlene with the earrings. And here's how the bracelet looks on. With that gorgeous little sterling toggle. So that's number 10 for this set. And it's going to be $8. Okay, what is this? Alex and Ani. Rarely see, this is a necklace. I'm rarely seeing Alex and Ani necklaces. I usually see the bracelets. Path of Life, Alex and Ani, 2016, and it's sterling. And then here's a crystal, little crystal pendant. And it's stamped also right there, sterling. And then with Alex and Ani, you're going to always have those little energy tags that they have. Is that what this is? Let's see. Patent pending 925. It's gotten itself into a little bit of a tangle here. And patent pending 925. That's what both of those say. Let me come off camera and get that undone. got it untangled, and it's a slider adjustment. It goes over your head, and then you just slide it to adjust the length right here. You just pull on those beads like that, or push them together, and then that adjusts how far these hang down in the back. And then the pendant right here is in the front. This is the Alex and Ani Path of Life symbol. And then this is crystal. And then it's stamped 925 there. The chain itself isn't stamped anywhere, 925. But it is right here on the sliders. And then these tags at the end. But the chain itself isn't stamped. But I really don't see how it could be. But I believe it probably is. And then these little beads most likely are as well. Possible stamp right there. But I'll test all of that. So here is the pendant. Here's one of the station beads. And here's the chain. Really hard to get a fine chain, to get a good scratch with a fine chain. And then these little hang tags. And the sliders. I think that should cover everything. Hopefully there's enough scratch on that chain. Yeah, everything is blue, even the chain. The chain's got a very small scratch, so the blue on it is very small, but it's there. So that's all positive. For sterling silver. And I'm going to package this up in a way. I'm not going to take time on camera for it since I'm trying to conserve time. Well, actually, I think I will. I'm going to put the chain in a separate bag. Hopefully, that'll help keep it from getting tangled again. I didn't mean to fill up the entire screen with that. Okay, there we go. And there is our Alex and Ani Path of Life, and that's going to be number 11. And we'll do that one for $10. Number 12. Oh, I left the card out of that one. Number 12, vintage Cadoro. Started in 1954, out of business in 1987. So only about 30 years they were around. There's their hang tag, which looks to be copper. Now gold tone beads, a spring ring closure. Gold tone beads with a little wear. Yeah, there's a little wear on those. Little orange colored acrylic beads, a little spiral bead. And that's it. Pretty simple design. It has a drop of 10.5 inches. If you like uncommon vintage brands, this would be a good one for your collection. Number 12. And we'll just do that one for, let's just do that one for $4. Here's a little turtle with 925. So I wonder if that's a stone. We'll test it and see. Of course, if it's turquoise, which I doubt that would be turquoise, but if it is, that wouldn't show up on the gem tester. And there's our little turtle. And I don't want to unbag the chain. And there's a nice little scratch there for the chain. And there we are. So probably this is about an 8-inch drop, I would guess, looking at how much chain there is in the bag right here. I'd say that's probably an 8-inch drop. And let's see what the gem tester says. Well, the first thing it says is that I just touched metal. So that is, I don't know, probably acrylic, just from the feel of it. Really cute little turtle. There's a close-up of him. He's cut so he's really sparkly, or his little stones are cut so he's sparkly. Probably an 8-inch drop. And he's going to be number 13 for $8. No time for our next handful. Okay, this is one of my favorites. This looks, this is not a really common style for them. It looks sort of like a sunrise, all but upside down, or a bottle opener. And it looks new, actually. It's, there's the hang tag. So it's silver tone, it's a little Rolo extender, oval Rolo links on this sort of fine chain. Not very fine, but sort of fine. I'll go ahead and give you a drop measurement, which is 15 inches. And a 2-inch extender. And the pendant is about 1 3/4. So you have this, oh, never mind that. My rings were sliding all over my hand, so I put that on there to tighten it up a little bit. So here's the back. Oh, there is a little bit of copper showing right there where it looks like it just got scratched. Because otherwise it doesn't really look like it has wear, like in all the other places where you would normally see it. So I think there was just a little isolated scratch right there. And then you have these embossed lines right here to decorate it. And the chain is hung through it like that. That's sort of a different design. You don't really see that kind of design very often from Lucky Brand. Usually see more brassy things and brown tones. So this is number 14. And it's going to be $6. Okay, this is little glass beads. They have a neat effect on them when the light hits. Sort of an opalescent effect. This is very tight. Let's see, this is NOGU. I don't know that brand. I'll need to look that one up. Okay, so here it is. They make jewelry. This is actually a current item on their website. It is called a rainbow white silver double mermaid glass bracelet. And they have lots of different glass beads. They have something called lunar glass, something called firefly glass. So that's their thing. And it feels like quality. It's very tightly put together. And that's their logo that you can see right here on their website. That logo is right here on the closure, which I think that's the closure. Okay, yeah, it's just the little crimp, I guess, that they put right there. You adjust it by pulling the sides and then tighten it by pulling the little ends that hang off. But there it is. Here's the little, this kind of tag that shows that it's new. And it's just really pretty. I like how that glass just kind of lights up like that. So these are currently on the website for $43. And then this one is brand new. So it's our number 15. Is that right? Are we already on number 15? So we're halfway through. So this is our number 15. And they're $43 brand new on the website. This one is brand new. So we'll do it here for, you know what, let's do 15 for 15. As small as it can go is a 6 1/4. Would be an anklet on some people. About a 10 1/4. Hypoallergenic sterling or gold filled ear wires, surgical steel posts. Let's see. I think those are going to be gold filled ear wires. I'm going to give it a little scratch just to see what the scratch looks like. Well, it's got a pretty bright silvery scratch. Let's see if that's sterling. And it is. I thought it was going to be gold filled just looking at the color of it. So it is sterling on the ear wires. And, well, I should have tested this part while I was at it, too. Because you want to know exactly how much sterling you're getting. I don't think that's going to be sterling because it's got sort of a golden colored scratch. So, no, that is not sterling on this little part. Those are really pretty. Here comes Earlene to show you what they look like on. Those are really gorgeous. You have the little silver toned part hanging in front of this little metal sort of ombre blue little cutout piece with these beads right here, a turquoise colored one and a really royal blue one. And sterling ear wires. Let's see, I don't know what those cost originally, but they are new on the card. So we're looking at number 16 now. And let's just do those for $6. Lee Elena. So Jeanette's throwing me some new names. This is another one I'm not familiar with. There's the name right there. Lee Elena. And this is genuine leather. And it closes like this. It goes inside and then like that. So since I have it clasped, let's go ahead and give you a size on it. And that's about a 7. Okay, I looked this up, and there are none like this sold. And now eBay is acting up for me. So there are none like this sold, but there are many listed for around $40 or $50. And then this is a really wide one. This one's not like ours. It's similar, but it's really wide. So around $40 or $50 is what these are being listed for. And I don't have any solds to go by. So I would probably list mine, since they're listed at 40 to 50 and not selling, I would probably list mine for around 35. So, which means I'm going to offer it here for, let's just do 15. Genuine leather, brushed gold tone. This is called a jigsaw bracelet or jigsaw clasp, according to all the listings. Here's a Vera Bradley, a pair of Vera Bradleys with excellent stretch. How cute. So the stretch on the lighter colored one is tighter than the stretch on the darker one, but the stretch on the darker one is still excellent. It's in very good condition. So the little Vera Bradley print, and it's a different print on each side of the little heart charm. And then there's the Vera Bradley hang tag, and there it is on that one. And you just have these 2 different shades of purple. So this cute little pair of Vera Bradley bracelets with silver tone beads, and then I think these are glass or ceramic. Yeah. And then the silver tone hang tags. Don't see any tone loss on those. That one could be shined up just a bit, but I don't see any tone loss on it. And those cute little hearts that are like that on one side and like that on the other side. So this sweet little Vera Bradley set. We'll do those for $8. And that's $8 for both together. Okay, so next up, I saw Sigrid Olsen. So that's a classic brand. She doesn't usually draw a lot of attention when I show those pieces by Sigrid Olsen, but to me they're just classic. Again, one of those I feel like is really undervalued. So I've got this light brass tone, or it might just be brass instead of brass toned. I'm leaning toward thinking it's probably actually brass. And it's a toggle bracelet. I'll go ahead and give you the size. And then I want to check and see if these beads are gemstones. So we've got about a 6.5. Let's take a look at these. I'm really looking at this stone right here. Can't wait to see what that might be. It's sort of a rusty red with this black veining or matrix in it. That doesn't look familiar to me at all. So let's see what we're working with here. These are glass. This one is ceramic. You can tell by the way it gets lighter right there around the drill hole. Let's see. see, what is this milky one right here? Okay, that one's glass. All right, I'm going to save that red one for last. These sort of olive green ones. They got a little bit of white in them. Okay, it barely touches quartz citrine amethyst. It's more in the tanzanite aquamarine or the chrysoprase emerald line. Yeah, that's where it is more, in this green stone. I would really like to know what that is. Let's see, and then there are these sort of marbly looking ones with the really pale green. Those, well, if I had to guess, I was going to guess quartz on those, but these are going more into garnet tourmaline iolite, these right here. I think the last thing to check here is just that red one. Okay, it goes well into the garnet tourmaline iolite. It touches chrysoprase emerald. So I would really like to know what that is. So you have some gemstones and glass on this light brass toned chain and toggle with your Sigrid Olsen branding right there. Every toggle bracelet I've ever gotten has the same exact type of loop, the same type of branding on the bar. I think I already gave the size, didn't I? Let's just do it again. About a 6.5. Okay, so the Sigrid Olsen, if you're a collector, you're about to hear some good news. This is number 19. And we're just going to do this one for $6. I love these colors. Has a name tag, hang tag. I've seen that V before recently. I think it's on a video recently that you would have seen of mine, where I said it doesn't look like the Victoria's Secret V, but I can't remember what the piece was off the top of my head. So this is a thread. It's like a bronzy golden colored thread. And then you've got that V. That's that same V that was in another video of mine recently. And then these beautiful, sparkly AB coated beads of all different kind of sherbet colors. You have pinks, yellows, blues, green, gold. So pretty. Let's see, it's going to be measured outside of the light box. It has a drop of 17.5 inches. It's about 2.5 inch extender. A little bit of tone loss around the clasp and these crimps at the ends of the threads. But otherwise, it's in beautiful condition. I might de-string these beads and make something else if this one doesn't sell. Those beads are gorgeous. So number 20. And let's just do it for $4 because of all that tone loss on the clasp that have this sort of design to them, like that design. But I'm used to seeing the chunkier, thicker ones. This is a finer gauge of wire. Okay, here are some hammered gold tone beads, some little faceted seafoam colored ones, some sky blue, these little open hollow ones right there. And here are your Alex and Ani hang tags. So that's really pretty. This is 7 1/4. Here's how it looks on. I love those colors. Love those colors. So the Alex and Ani, number 21. And we're going to do it for $3. This looks pretty. Oh, it's a little articulated dragonfly. Look at that. Has these 2 different colors of green for the wings, little rhinestones, and then a trail of graduated rhinestones for the body and the tail. Is he branded? Does anybody get credit for this? Nobody gets credit. Has a spring ring closure. The chain and closure are all in great condition. I was trying to say condition and shape at the same time. And then there's the male holding the little dragonfly on, and he's not signed. But very pretty, all in silver tone and rhinestone. The drop length on it is 8 1/2 inches, and our little dragonfly is 1 1/2 inches. And he is number 22. And we're going to do him for $4. Next, we have this gold tone bead necklace. The clasp and extender are in great shape. The chain is these, it's like a ball chain, but it's like diamond cut or faceted, so it sparkles like that. Then you have these little ball stations, and then these more kind of free-moving beads. I think they have stations between them to keep them from moving around. I said they were free moving, but they're not. Like each one has a little larger bead on each side to keep it in place, like little stations. Then you have some that are smooth and some that are textured. So here's the overall effect. It's sort of like bubbles. Love those. So let's see. This is a really fun one. You have 3 layers here. Let's see, the shortest layer, maybe I should have done this outside of the light box, but we'll just go with it. The shortest layer is 10 inches. Then you have an 11-inch drop and a 14-inch drop. It's just simple in design, but it's just the little gold beads, gold tone beads. There we go. So it's simple in design, but just a very nice way to dress up a simple outfit, to give a little polish to something casual. I love that. I love this effect, this little bubble effect of having all of these scattered beads. So 22. And that one's going to be $4. So this is Howlite. This is more of that kind of spider-webbed sort of matrix. Yeah, so that's Howlite set in gold tone. These are acrylic. The more kind of uniform colored ones, that's acrylic cabochons. And then these are Howlite cabochons. And here is your Monet hang tag. This is one of the Monet signatures that you'll see from time to time. This, to me, has sort of the old Hollywood Egyptian revival kind of look to it. I like the textured halos around all of these stones. a little bit of tone loss right here around this stone. Actually, that might polish up. If you're interested in this one, I'm going to try polishing it right there. So if you're interested in this one, just message me about it. Email me, and I'll let you know if I was able to get that off, because it really doesn't look like tone loss the closer I look. The closer I look, it looks like something maybe spilled on it or something. So I believe that can clean up. I really believe that will clean up. But if you're interested in this one and you want to know if that cleaned up, just contact me, and then I will be able to tell you the results of my polishing efforts on that. So you have a 7-inch drop to right here, and then the pendant is another 2 inches. The extender is a 2-inch extender. The chain is gold tone Rolo chain. I love this texture setting. I think I called it a halo earlier, but it's just the setting that these cabochons are all in. And then that's how it's constructed. They have rings molded into the settings, and then they are joined by another ring. And I like how the pendant is arranged. I just really like that whole arrangement. That's really gorgeous, and I really do believe this is going to come off. I would try polishing it right here in the video, but I'm trying to save time. So that's why I say just ask me about it by email if you're interested. So this one is going to be $8. We're going to list that for $16. And now we have a Leah Sophia. Speaking of bubbles, this reminds me of bubbles in water. So it's a beautiful silver tone. Let's see, there's our hang tag right here. Yeah, Leah Sophia. So how beautiful. There's the overall effect. Let me give you a close-up on that. So the way it's put together, it's these little individual pieces that have 3 stones each, and those are attached together directly into each other. Like this one has a loop, and then that one has a loop, and the loops are made together rather than being joined together separately like the other piece I showed you. So you have light green, you have this AB white, you have a teal and like a sky blue, like 2 or 3 different shades of blue, and it's all set in this sort of matte gold tone, or silver tone, I mean. And look how deep and thick those settings are. I really like deep settings like that. So let's give you a measurement on it. This is beautiful. Let's see. Okay, there's an upside down to this necklace. And when it's upside down, the front part of the necklace doesn't lay right. So you'll know if you've got it upside down or not. So the drop on it is 8 inches, and there's a 3-inch extender. And let's give you a close-up of all of these gorgeous stones. Beautiful. I got interrupted there. The grocery delivery came before I finished this, and I had to go put the dogs up because they freak out when any kind of delivery comes, especially when they see the big bag of dog food in the back of the delivery vehicle, which happened this time. So getting back to it, I think I gave the drop measurement, but, oh, and this is what I meant by it being upside down earlier. The front of the necklace looks like that, and it won't budge. But when it's not upside down, it'll do that. So, and you'll be able to tell. And you just turn it around. But there it is, and it reminds me of bubbles. Bubbles in water. And I think that's what I was talking about, is those really deep settings. And then you have these little cutouts, and even those are deep, like that. And all these colors are really gorgeous. And I think, actually, I remember now, that's where I left off before the grocery delivery came. So we are now up to number 24. And this beautiful Elia Sophia necklace. We're going to do this one for $7. These are just all over, like even the settings are the same color as the stones. This vibrant orange. Very pretty. Acrylic stones and just the familiar J. Crew setting. There's a little bit of paint loss and just a couple of spots at the ends of these little prongs. It's not real prominent. But they're really, really pretty. So let's bring over Earlene to give you a look at how they would look when you wear them. And that's it. And there's branding on the back too. Where did I see that? Oh, there it is. Right there above that little rhinestone. And then right here you have a little bit of paint loss. Looks like there's silver tone underneath the paint. But there it is right there. And they are about 2 inches long and about maybe just a touch over an inch wide. And these are number 25. Oh, 25. Can't really read that. 25. And these we'll just do these for $3. These look really neat. These are earrings with these little pale pink seed beads on them. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so you have a hoop with a little loop in it that this little oval loop hangs through. And the oval loop just has these very pale pink little seed beads wired to it. So this is the overall effect right here. These are, I'll give you a measurement on them. They're just over 2 inches, about 2 1/4. Here's Earlene. I love that. Look at that. That's a beautiful look. And that very pale pink, very feminine, very pretty. And the backs are here. They just weren't on the earrings. So I will give those a cleaning just to make sure they're nice and clean. They probably are, but I usually run backs through the cleaner when I can. So these are 26. And we'll just do those also for $3. So 27 is these little, I guess, medallion, rosette. I don't really know what you would call that kind of design, but looks like they're set in brass. That looks very similar to the 1928 old frills and scrolls, but this is not 1928 style. So I know some other brands do that scroll work on the back as well, but I don't think these are 1928 just from the style of them. They could be, but I don't think they are. You have these acrylic little orange sherbet colored stones, a little faux pearl in the middle, and little clear rhinestones on these brass ear wires. Nice sunny look for those. So let's bring it over Erlene. There we go. And measurements are about an inch long from the top of the hook to the bottom of the earring. These are 27, and we'll just do those for $2. Oh, this is a Juicy Couture bangle. It's very well kept. I was about to say it looks like it could be new, but I see a little bit of surface scratching on the inside, so it's not new, but someone did take very nice care of it. Let's make sure all the stones are there. Look how bright those stones are. Yeah, it looks like they're all here. So Juicy was very, very popular, and then it was just kind of lukewarm for a while, but then it just came roaring back to life recently. Well, relatively recently. It's been a little while, but it's still popular. So very pretty. Here's what it looks like on. And here's the branding right there. The size is about a 7 3/4. And it's just beautiful. Not a whole lot to say. It just speaks for itself. Look how bright and shiny and sparkly that is. The gold tone on the inside is in great shape. Just some light surface scratching is all. I don't see any tone loss around these corner edges. You know, that's usually the first place that's going to show up. So that's really, really pretty. That's an impressive bracelet. 28. And we're going to do that one for $9. How pretty. So these are silver tone and these gorgeous either crystal or CZ right there. And then some more hanging down right here, or not hanging, but like set. It's like maybe prong set. Yeah, right there on the front. And it's silver tone. I don't see any marks, so nobody gets credit for these. And it's lever backs that snap in place. And the snaps are nice and tight. Look at the settings. I like little details. The settings are really pretty. I think, let me test these off camera real quick. I think these are crystal. Yeah, I'm pretty certain these are crystal. But they're heart-shaped, very, very sparkly, and they look new. If I had to call it, I would call it new. So let's bring over Erlene. How pretty is that? Wow, really like this. Okay. These are 29. And we're going to do those also for $8. This is, we have 2 more pieces after this. This is number 30, but there's 2 more, so I'm just going to go ahead and do them. So we'll have 32 pieces in this show, but these are sweet little stud earrings that are little gold tone bees with little, I think crystal, glass or crystal, but I kind of think they're probably crystal. little wings right there. Let me check it off camera really quick. Yeah, I believe that is crystal. Let's put it on early to give you a look. Those are really sweet. Look at that. How cute. Perfect for a little springtime theme. These tiny little bee studs are number 30. And we'll just do those for $7. Look at all the little details. Oh, can't look at anything if it won't focus, can you? All the little details, little prong set wings, the separate little antennas, and the little the lines, you know, the impressions on the body. Super cute. It's a little pin of a bird done in cloisonné style. Gold tone, and there's the mark, WES 87. So I'm going to look that up quick. I've seen it before, but I don't remember the details about it. Okay, here's a couple of solds. $16.95, and then the other one I saw, a lot of weird stuff came up when I searched that. Let's see. Well, eBay keeps doing that to me. So here's where they're listed, $12.99, $16.99, $14.99. Well, let's find out what they're selling for. I showed you the one for $16.99, but there was another one I had seen, $19.95 right there. So I'll probably list mine for about $15. And in light of that, we're going to offer this one up for, let's just do $6 on it. Number 31 for $6. This WES 87. Little cloisonné bird pin. In great shape, actually. I didn't show you all of that. The edges there have all of their tone. There's no loss on there. The back is nice and tight. These pave set, really bright colored rhinestones. It's a little hummingbird, and it has a mark right there, SUCH. That means it's made in China. So it's silver tone, it appears. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that just says SUCH again. So silver tone, spring ring clasp. This pretty little brightly colored hummingbird with very sparkly stones. The hummingbird is about 1 inch from beak to tail. The drop measurement is about 8.5 inches. There's no extender. And there it is. So this one is 32. And we'll do this one also for just $6. So I hope you really enjoyed shopping. I hope you really enjoyed just looking if you weren't here to shop. But I always appreciate any time people spend with my content, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy making it. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Share this out with a friend who you think might also enjoy it, and please leave me a comment. I really do enjoy reading those, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.